I am Bill Barron, live in Dyer, Tennessee. I have had lots of exposure to sun through the years. I had one place on my forehead that was crusty, red, and itched, and I've been to the dermatologist numerous times, and he has frozen it at least twice. He's taken a biopsy twice to be sure that it's not maturing into some type of cancer. He said it was pre-cancer and that it was caused by the sun. But I used this product, Perrin Blend, for approximately 3 weeks off and on, and gradually the area began to form a scab and would come off, and eventually the entire thing healed, leaving a little pitted spot, so it was deep. So this product has improved or corrected the condition better than the dermatologist. I asked the dermatologist about the medicine, but he wasn't a believer in non-prescription medicines of this type, but evidently this did work, and thus far it hasn't returned. I have another place or two that I'm using it on now, and it seems to be improving, but it'll be another week or two before I can tell for sure, but it appears to help. And I've even had a spot or two on my head of the same condition that have been scraped, frozen, and biopsies taken that I'm using the medicine on, and they've already healed up considerably.
Kenyon, and I own the Maple Leaf Natural Health Store. I was introduced to Perrin's Blend, and I had it in my store already. When a client came in, she had it wasn't a malignant tumor, but a growth on her chest, and it had been there for 12 years, and somebody in Memphis had told her to put tea tree oil on it. So she started putting tea tree oil on it, but the tea tree just irritated the area, and it kind of made it red. So she asked me what I thought she should do, and I told her about the Perrin's Blend. I said, why don't you give it a try? Looks like it's done really good for Mr. Perrin. So she bought the Perrin's Blend, and about 2 months later I saw her, and the growth was completely gone. She had showed it to me, and it was real bubbly and abnormal, irregular borders. And when she came back in, it looked like it was just a new skin. And she was very pleased, and it had been on there for 12 years. It had been looked at by a doctor, and it was not malignant, but it was kind of an eyesore for her. And so she is very pleased with the product, and it completely removed it, and she hasn't had any reoccurrence since.
My name is Bobby Connor. I'm owner of C&R Grocery, Chester County. Been in business for like 34 or 5 years. That product right there, Perrin's Blend, I'd heard a lot about it, about stuff it could do for skin cancer, stuff like that. I had a mole on the side of my neck that my shirt collar was rubbing, and it was irritating, giving me problems. Third day of that mole was gone, fell off. When I changed the bandage to doctor it was completely gone. Darndest stuff I ever seen.
Hi, I'm Donna Condry. I work at Elaine's Herbal Corner. I am a sales associate for Elaine, and we have been buying Perrin's Blend since March of 2006. I've had no complaints. One day I had a customer that come in wanting something for skin cancer for her husband, and I recommended this to her, and she's like, well, I wonder if it would work on a wart. And I told her, I said, well, just try it and see, and report back to me and let me know if it worked. About a week or two later, she calls and tells me that it took the wart off, and plus it had removed the cancer spot that was on her husband. So she's been totally amazed about it and been really telling people about it, and a lot of people come in because of her recommendations. So I mean, there's no complaints or anything about this. Everybody thinks it's great, so it really does work, and I recommend everybody try it.
Hello, my name is Betty Harden. I'm from Tennessee, and I'd like to tell you about Perrin's Blend. I had an unsightly mold on my collarbone, and so I put that on there and followed the directions, kept it covered with a Band-Aid, and one night when I stepped out of the shower and toweled off, it wasn't there. It was gone.
My name is Keith Kirk. I pastor Trinity Assembly of God in Decatur, Tennessee. And I come today to share with you about something that I found with some of the couples in our church that the Lord gave this salve or ointment to, and something mighty that could be used to help with cancer. I tried it. I had a place on my arm, and I used this and followed the directions. And within 1 week after taking off the Band-Aid, I just kindly noticed it, and it was a little scab on it. I just brushed that scab off, and it's not been any problem since then. So I really believe in this, and I believe it's something that will help people that have this cancer.
And it is completely gone.
And it is completely gone. Yes, it is.
I'm Becky West from Dyer, Tennessee. I'm a school librarian, and I contracted the MRSA staph infection from school. And I had a terrible spot on my chin right here, and antibiotics weren't working. It was just getting worse. So I got some Perrin's Blend and covered it. And within 24 hours, the entire place had fallen off, and it began healing. So that's my testimony. It really does work.
Hi, my name is Bob Barron from Dyer, Tennessee. I was introduced to a new product on Thanksgiving Day by Judy and Jim Perrin that developed a product for skin lesions and various things on the skin. Like any new product, you really don't know if it's going to work or not unless you try it. Well, I bought some, and a few days later I started applying it to this mole that was on my arm. It was an ugly dark mole that I didn't know if it would work or not. Well, after about 2 weeks of applying this, I really didn't see that it was doing any good, and I sort of gave up on it. Well, 2 or 3 weeks later, I happened to look down, and half of the mole was gone. It had crusted up and became like a scab. And since then, it's got to a point where there's only about maybe 25% of it left. And so evidently it did work on me, and therefore all I can do is I can recommend it, that you try it anyway. There's no guarantee it'll work on you, but it did work on me. And I learned a great deal about faith because of that, because I just gave up on it. Had I had the faith to continue, it would have worked 100%, I would imagine. So that's all I can tell you. I would recommend you trying it anyway.